Hi everyone, it's Amy. Every week, Vanessa and I have been bringing you stories of missing and unidentified women. We are taking a mini holiday break, and in exchange, we thought we would bring to you some of the special content that our Patreon supporters get to listen to. So if you're interested, head on over to Patreon and support us there as well. But we're giving you a sneak peek at one of our discussions. This is a conversation we had about one of our book club selections from the year called The God of the Woods by Liz Moore. We loved this book so much and loved discussing it, and we can't wait to welcome you into the conversation that we had regarding it. Liz was also incredibly generous in reading one of the poems for us this year, and we want to thank her for her support.
Hi, I'm Vanessa.
And I'm Amy.
And you're listening to She Goes by Jane.
Hi, Vanessa.
Hi, Amy.
We are talking about our
Book club.
July selection, right? So this is The God of the Woods by Liz Moore. And I'm so excited to read this because, Liz very generously read one of our poems for us, which is so great of her, where I'm and she was probably gearing up to launch this book when she did it for us. So I am so glad that she did it. But the reason we asked her is that I had read a description of this book. I knew Liz Moore from her other book, but I read the description of this one and I was like, Vanessa, Adirondacks. It is set in the Adirondacks, and it's about missing people. It
fits all of our everything.
It checked all the boxes. And so we reached out to her and she said yes, and she read for us, which is great.
I've been seeing the book everywhere. It's very wildly popular right now.
Yes. So it's it
was on Obama's list. Yeah, exactly. It's on Obama's list.
Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah, when we went on our trip to Montana, there was not just the book, but the big display table. So, it's one of those books you've got to pick up.
Yeah, I'm wondering, despite its somewhat dark subject matter, if it will increase tourism in the Adirondacks.
I don't know. So it is dark, but a lot of people read a lot of very dark things right now.
Right, but it's also some beautiful descriptions of the Adirondacks and
there are definitely some beautiful descriptions.
Yes, and I promise that despite this disappearance happening at a summer camp, you can safely send your kids to summer camp in the Adirondacks. Now,
right.
Before we get too much into our discussion, we are not a spoiler-free.
Oh, right. You will get spoilers. So if you are intending to read it, maybe circle back and listen to this after you've read it.
Exactly, because I have a lot to say about this book. Okay, so
now I'm curious. Start talking.
All good things.
All good things. Yeah, of course.
So basically, Vanessa and I'm behind on my reading. And so Vanessa's been waiting for me.
Mm-hmm.
And when we saw each other at our other book club.
One of our other book clubs.
Yes.
One of the others.
One of our other book clubs last night, I was I'm about halfway through. And you were like, maybe we won't record this today.
Right. So I was not anticipating having this talk today, but I'm glad we are because I'm one of those people that you see in all the book people memes that is I love that book, and then immediately forgets the entire thing.
Yes.
I'm that person.
So you're still fresh.
Yes, I'm still fresh. I'm not like that on everything, obviously. There are many books that stick with me. This one is one of the ones that's going to stick with me. But there have been ones in the past where it's hurry up. We need to talk about it now because it will be gone soon.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, which happened at our book club last night. There's a book we were discussing. Some of us were discussing that I had read months ago, and they were trying to talk about it, and I was like, oh no.
Right.
All I just remember is the vibe of it. But this one is great. I can see why it's on so many lists.
Mm-hmm.
Now, okay. So to dive in. For clarity, Vanessa and I do not live in the Adirondack Park.
No, we are on the Adirondack coast.
Yes, which is a great.
It's the name given to the places that don't get to be
Yes.
in the Adirondack.
We are in
region.
like kissing distance of the
Yes.
Adirondack Park.
We could be there in 10 minutes.
Yes. And actually my husband used to live in the Adirondacks, like the actual Adirondack Park, when we first started dating. So, and occasionally I get like these moments where I'm like, let us just sell everything and move to the mountains.
But instead, we're just North Country girls.
Yes. So when her character refers to it as North Country,
that's us.
That's us. We're up here.
Yeah.
Just not directly in the park itself.
Right. And because of Bob Dylan's song, I'm feeling much better about being like a North Country girl. Have you ever heard that song?
I'm not.
Oh, it's okay. You have to.
No,
and there's a whole play based on it.
Okay.
A musical. Obviously, but yes.
Okay. Okay. So when this book came out, it was just like really in our group. So you have obviously, if you're sticking around this long, you have read the book and you know everything that happened. But so we have 2 disappearances here.
Right.
Who do you want to talk about?
Well, so first I do want to say, because I know there's a lot of other readers like me.
Mm-hmm.
So I have I am the reading personality that pretty much takes forever to get into a book.
Yes.
Like, I think, Aimée, you can start reading a book and just be like right off the bat, like, I love this or I don't love this, right? Where I am unsure for the first several chapters, where I'm like trying to just get the like author's voice in my head, and sometimes I'm like, this is too slow or it's too much groundwork. I did feel that a touch with this. Not too much of that, but for me, it's like a bit of a slow start. Mm-hmm. But I am so glad I kept going, because it is such, like, after I got past that initial little bit, I felt like I could just feel my pace picking up on, like, where it was going, but also, like, my need to know where it was going.
Right.
So there are 2 disappearances, as Aimée said. So there's Bear, who disappears at 8 years old in 1961.
Yes.
And then Barbara, his sister, who was born after his disappearance, who disappears at 13 years old in 1975.
Yes.
So, and it's under different circumstances. So I think let's just start with, I mean, the story starts with Barbara, but I feel like my mind wants to start with Bear.
Well, so Bear is like an origin point, right? Like, you know, we have the wealthy family, you know, and it's just, there is such a divide, you know, from the 1970s, even now, like, there is such an interesting culture in the Adirondacks that does divide, like, the wealthy camps and essentially the locals who end up being like service workers,
right,
for those wealthy camps.
And the book does a great job of like covering that dynamic. There's like the us and them mentality, right? Like, very much.
Yes, which is very much still
yeah. So I've done a lot of wedding photography in the Adirondacks, right around the places that we're talking about in this book, and there's definitely we are providing a service to these out-of-towners.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. And I mean, I guess we're actually not talking about Bear and Barbara at the moment, but rather just like the culture in the book, like.
Right. And they do, so the book, so they disappear in 61 and 75, but we do go back to the 50s.
Yes.
At one point too. So you do kind of see how that's like solidly there.
Yeah.
Like this idea of like the wealthy people visiting as opposed to the poor locals that work for them.
Yeah, and it's still the case today. So, like, in a lot of regions in the Adirondacks, particularly, say, like, near, like, Placid or Saranac Lake, or any of those places, the local people have been priced out of real estate within those places. And so they are actually struggling to find affordable housing and are driving longer and longer distances in order to like work service jobs for wealthy people who are only there part of the year.
Right.
Yeah. So it's just always
But it's the other service people that are treating them that way too. So I have like some inside like knowledge and like experience with that. And we've had weddings that we've photographed, because my husband and I have been wedding photographers for quite some time, and we haven't been working in the Lake Placid area for like the last 3 or 4 years, but memories of that still make me cringe. And it's like we would have like these really great brides and grooms that would like actually seat us in the reception area so that we could see what was happening, so we could eat with the guests, so that we could still take photos during it. But the staff at these places kept reinforcing that otherness.
Oh, like the
Where
dynamic.
they would be like, okay, well, no, you're here to provide a service, so you eat in the kitchen.
Mm,
And we're like, if we're eating in the kitchen, how can we tell when speeches or toasts happen?
right.
And our bride and grooms already said they prefer us to be nearby.
Oh, yeah. Well,
But we're constantly just being shoved back in the kitchen.
Well, because as photographers, you're occupying a different space. And so, yeah, so like the rest of the service staff is like, we have to eat in the kitchen.
Right.
Right. And so, yeah, there is like this weird
It is a
dynamic.
very weird dynamic. And we get like a different meal in the kitchen. And then like, but nowhere else have we ever worked. Like we've worked in Connecticut, Massachusetts, throughout New York, Montreal. And in all of those times, we are put to like a table within where we can still see them. And we're fed what the rest of the people are fed because that is what is being made.
Mm.
And it's what is most cost effective and simplest for the families. But no, when you enter Lake Placid, you can expect like a sandwich in the kitchen.
Yeah, well, for the other service workers, because they're like, hey, we're providing a service, like, aren't you also providing a
Right.
service? And so, yeah, so there's like this reinforcement that's happening because like they're trying to like,
But it's like they've been knocked down to that level for so many years that they're knocking themselves down to that level.
well, yeah, I mean, it's like incredibly hard in the Adirondacks. Like, yeah, I mean, part of me has always wanted to like also have like a cabin in the
Yeah.
Adirondacks, but also like being like local, there are some just like dynamic issues. And it's just like fascinating because like also like I've worked in jobs in which or I've been a part of several nonprofits in which they're trying to fundraise from those very wealthy donors, and it's just like a little much, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's fascinating to see that replicated in a book, like service work versus wealthy families,
Right.
the dynamics and how it plays out. Yeah, so like the origin part of this is Bear,
Right.
who goes missing really young. So you
And so to be clear also, so they are staying here in the book. This family stays in Lake Placid during the summer, sorry. And in the winter, they go back to Albany.
yes.
So Bear disappears during one of their summer trips. He is the story that's been told is that he goes for a small hike with his grandfather. On the way to the hike, he remembers that he forgot his knife
Mm-hmm.
and needs to return to the house to get it. And that is the last he has ever seen.
So Liz Moore's team was super generous and gave us an advanced reader's copy, which I like kicked over your way.
Yeah.
And I got like my hardcover
Right.
version. Because I knew I was going to want to keep it. But so.
Well, I want to keep mine too because so you as a writer probably have a lot of advanced copies of
I do,
books.
yeah.
This is my first advanced copy, so thank you, Liz. It's very exciting to have like a book on the shelf that says advanced copy on the spine.
Because it feels like you've been let into like a special club.
It is a special club.
It is a special club. Okay. So your copy does not include Liz's author's note nor the reading discussion.
Right. So when it stops, it stops.
Okay. So part of this is she does talk about her inspiration for the happenings in the book, right? So I'm gonna touch on the serial killer in a little bit, but she does not mention this kid specifically. But when I started reading this book and I came across Bear's story, I was like, ooh, I think I know what the inspiration is. So I was expecting it in the author's note.
Okay.
It was not there.
It was not there. So who do you think it is?
So there's this kid, Douglas Legg, Legg.
Okay.
Yeah. Who disappeared July 10th, 1971 from Santanoni Estate, which is in Newcomb. And so like it is the Santanoni Preserve. So it reminds me so much of the setting of this book, right?
Okay.
And so basically this kid goes missing. He has actually never been found, but he was the grandkid of the owners of the estate. And he was just like known as Doug or Dougie. He was just like this little kid who goes missing. And yeah, it was on a hike that he went missing. He was supposed to go back to the lodge, right? He passed by like some of his family members, but he just like failed to return and was never seen again. And so there was this massive search for him like
And so when did that happen?
1971.
Okay, so kind of within the time frame of this book as
Yeah,
well.
so it's just
Yeah.
like when she does say in her author's note that there have been a lot of tragedies in the Adirondack Mountains, which is absolutely true.
So Bear, you think is kind of derived from
I think
a little like the idea of that, or like it's just similarities.
like one of the similarities is like, so when I read it, I was like, oh, is that kid? But yeah, so like some very like.
That's funny too, because last night we were talking just briefly about another Adirondack based kind of author, Russell Banks, and his book Sweet Hereafter, and there is a character in that book also named Bear.
Oh, really?
And I just love that name. It's like, in that one it's the given name, and in this one it's his nickname.
Yes,
his name is Peter.
Because he's
Peter 4.
He's named after which is
yeah. But Bear is such a cute nickname, especially for a kid that's like traipsing around in the woods, in those days. Like it just, I feel like that in itself kind of set like sort of like this mood of like what the Adirondacks are like, and like giving this kid that little like kind of rough and tumble name.
Right. So I think that that Dougie is the.
Now, and then you thought somebody was, because there's also, so in this, one of the suspects of both Bear and then again later Barbara's disappearance, like one of the suspects is this guy that I think it's Sluter, but they call him Slitter,
yes.
And Slitter is this like rapist serial killer, but he doesn't prey on children in the book.
No.
And you said that there was actually a serial killer here.
Yeah.
Okay.
So and she actually does mention that in her author's note that the serial killer was based on the one that I thought it was. So that's definitely in her wheelhouse, which is Robert Francis Garrow.
Right. So I've like briefly heard about him since I've been living here, but I have not deep dived into what he's done. Was he like Slitter? Is he a rapist and murderer?
Yeah. Well, so he is a rapist. He is a murderer. He was pretty active. I hate the word active, but like he was in the Adirondacks, right? And he was kidnapping and raping people and killing people in the Adirondacks.
Women mostly, or was it a mixture of people?
Like a mix, right? So, yeah. So this happened in what, like the 1970s?
Okay, that's more recent than I thought too.
Yeah. So like in 1973. So,
okay.
And his victims were not like young children, but his victims actually were high school aged. Not all of them, but some of them. And so he, people who lived in the Adirondacks in the 1970s, like, was more so like she just like remembers like being like terrified and like,
people scary.
Were terrified because it's like in the woods and like.
Right. Parts are really remote. Like,
exactly.
You don't know who could be creeping out in the woods. It's very thick, the woods too. So it's like.
Yeah. So I can definitely see where her inspiration came from. And it's like good that she like confirmed that it was him, right? Yeah. And so it's just,
there's many different things taking like place here. Yeah.
Yeah. So those are two inspiration pieces. And so like you've got like this family who had, the golden child with Bear, right? And then, Barbara, they have her next, and she's not.
She's a wild child.
She's a wild child, right?
Does her own thing. She's definitely not a family favorite.
No, she's born into a family with this like absent dad. Like he's emotionally cold and distant, right? And you're also dealing with like a mother who has experienced trauma.
But she is like checked out.
She is definitely checked out. Her parents have this like awful marriage with one another. And, she's like born into this, right?
Right. This situation, because she was brought into this family after they were already grieving. And so she ends up becoming almost like a local. Yes. In her own house. Like, instead of being on that level, she flips to the other.
Right, because her found family are like a local family.
The groundskeepers for her families.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's she does really become like very skilled in all kinds of
Survival
outdoor
skills,
things.
right?
Yeah, like all the
Yeah.
things, right? She hunts, she fishes, she knows how to hike and like direct
Hikes in
herself.
the
She
dark.
has a lot to be proud of. Like
Yeah.
as parents, I would be proud of this kid, but in this book, they are not. They're not seeing
Yeah,
like
well,
how
because
tough she is.
she doesn't meet their expectations of decorum and behavior.
Right, but she's like wildly creative. She's an artist. She
Yeah.
marches to the beat of her own drums with like her appearance.
Yep. And they're like not in this family.
Right. And I can see that in a wealthy 1975 household.
Yeah.
Maybe you wouldn't want that girl.
I know. It's like she's listening to like punk rock and she's got like her dog collar on. And I'm like,
Right. All of her eyeliner and her dyed hair and
yeah.
like drawing these wonderful drawings and
Yeah. And her family is like,
taking care of the littler kids. She's like at the beginning of the book, I'm like, oh my God, what is this going to be? But then she was like, I loved her so much.
right. And it's also like, she says specifically like that because like artists and entertainers are invited to the camp, but like they're kind of there as like set dressing for the family, right?
Right.
To like provide some sort of entertainment kind of stuff. Not,
Kind of like status.
yeah, exactly. Like we
Yeah.
brought in these creative people, but we don't actually want to be creative people.
Right.
Like, not in our family. We're about prestige, right?
Right.
And it's fascinating to see like so like these creatives are used for prestige moments, which actually like I have also seen happening,
Mhm.
right? Where people like the idea of creatives, but they would not necessarily counsel their own children to become those, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, why? It's not so bad. We're just kind of like doing our own thing and being happy and poor all the time. When
Right.
you want your kid to be happy and poor.
Yeah, well, I mean, I remember
No,
having a
I'm
conversation with
joking.
like a lawyer once, and where he was like, "Well, at least you get to do what you want to do," and I'm like, "You could have done that."
Yeah, you
Like,
could have
I'm
done
sorry, I
that.
don't
You didn't have to
like
go
a
your
lawyer.
route. But
Yeah,
yes.
right. And I
Yeah.
was like, well, yeah, and it's fascinating that they've like so firmly rejected Barbara. Also, it's clear that based on their family systems, like having boys is important.
Right.
Right. And so Barbara is a girl and also does not fit.
Right. And I mean, there are a lot of characters in this book too. So we do bring in like this the main family's best friends who
Yes.
it seems like their son is going to become the heir.
Right. And so they're
So
positioning themselves to like do it, right?
right. So then partly through the book, I'm like, oh, well, this guy's family clearly are the ones who got rid of Bear so that their kid would have the bank in the future because they're bankers, And
Yeah.
it's just so there are a lot of twists and turns in this book.
There are so many, and I was like with it the entire time. And it's just like I had such compassion for so many of the women in this book, right? Like even Alice, who's just like struggling.
She is being held captive in her own life.
Yes.
Or like not even her own life. Like she's living this life that she's been inserted into.
Right. And she's been manipulated
Yes.
into this life.
Right.
And it's just her story to me is so heartbreaking. But then like you have a character like Judy, who's the like young female investigator.
Yes.
And I am like, Liz Moore, if you would like to write a series.
Yeah. Of just Judy.
Like another Judy.
I loved Judy and her character so much.
If Judy could investigate something else in the Adirondacks / New York State.
Yeah.
Like, please.
Yeah. She's a really good character. Like I could actually like envision this person as like somebody I would want to know.
Exactly. Right?
Yeah.
Like, and she's just trying to find her own space and way.
Breaking away from her family and like tradition, which is difficult.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, I think about like, have you read any of like Kate Atkinson's books?
I have not.
So she like developed like this whole like, like disgruntled male investigator. Right?
Okay.
And she's like such a strong like literary writer too. Like the prose is really great. Just like Liz is, and just like Liz, like I'm just proposing. More Judy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I would follow her into another investigation and
yeah. And then there was the other family, Vic and TJ Hewitt. And like we started to get to a spot where I'm like, oh no, Are they not good people?
Right.
But they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I had anxiety too, which is actually like the mark of a good book, particularly one that is dependent on a mystery, is that through the whole thing, like I'm not sure I could have told you like what the resolution
You couldn't
was
predict it?
going to be.
I
Like,
couldn't either on this one.
yeah, I mean, like I think that the clues for Bear were there earlier.
Okay, I was feeling opposite.
Oh, the clues for Barbara.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. I was like, oh, Bear.
So
Like,
I was actually more surprised with what happened to Bear
oh,
than I
what
was.
did you think? Or what is it? The character says, "What do you like for it?" As a
What do I like for it? I know.
yeah,
What I liked for it, I know that was like the investigator thing, right?
yeah.
What I liked for it was that I thought he had been somehow removed from the situation so that the
Oh, your
JP guy or
family
whatever could get. And so
opposition.
I was almost holding out hope that he was still alive.
Okay.
So, but then when we did start to get to the spot where it was clear that Alice was having like some sort of like distress over like these dreams that were too real,
Mm-hmm.
then I knew then what had happened. Like then that didn't become a surprise. But like earlier in the book, I was like, okay, so somehow this kid has been like eliminated from this scenario. Like where Barbara, I felt like was just like playing with us.
Oh, yeah.
Like in a way. Like I didn't feel like anything harmful came to her.
Mm. So like you were like, I think she's gotten away.
Yeah, so she's somehow gotten away. I thought it would be like she's gotten away maybe to find Bear or to reconnect with him somewhere, like got some sort of like tip on where he was. So that's actually the
Oh, so you were
direction
holding
I
out
was
hope for
thinking
Bear.
like Bear had been just like pulled out of there and like just given somewhere else and that she had found out who that would be. So
So
like
like
when
you were like really firmly hoping for like a resolution in which like
everybody
Bear.
stays alive?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I think like because in my mind I was thinking of the Douglas Legg story, like I didn't think that Bear would be found.
Right. See, and I had no idea about that.
Yeah.
So but then once, like, we're talking about like Alice taking extra medications and trying to like work through these dreams of like the boat and that, then I was like, oh,
Yeah.
darn it.
Yeah. I mean, I think like one of the twists that I did not anticipate is the betrayal of Alice's sister.
Oh, yeah, I saw that coming too.
Oh,
Because he was always like, oh, she's so smart. Why can't you be smart like
right.
Delphine?
And he gets frustrated with her.
Yeah. So I mean I did see that coming a little bit, but I thought the whole end would be completely different than it was.
Mm.
But then I found this ending almost more, I don't know if I would call it satisfying, comforting, a stronger ending, something for me to think about more because it's one of those situations where nobody's the bad guy.
No.
But everybody kind of is the bad guy.
Yeah. I mean, just think like I'm thinking like one, like I love that Judy like provides that resolution for us and then Barbara front. But also like two, like Barbara's just gonna be absolutely feral by like 5 years living in the Adirondacks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once the mosquitoes are done with her and like she's gonna be like just so tough and like angry and mean and like
Like I cannot interact with society
yeah.
anymore. Yeah. I mean, like that would be like absolute isolation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the way the ending kind of wrapped up,
Hmm.
like it reminded me of Everything I Never Told You by Celeste Ning, NG.
Oh yeah, I haven't read that one.
Okay, so it kind of gave me that kind of same feeling, and that is a book that since I've read it has absolutely stayed with me. It was another one where like reading it for the first few chapters, I'm like, ugh, I don't know if this is the book for me. Like, I really just don't know if I can stick with it. It's too slow. There's too much happening. And then I got to the end and I was like, oh my God, like my heart will never release this
That book.
like idea, like this book. Actually ties in a little bit to like some of the conversations we've been having on some of our podcasts, namely like the one we were just recording, the Parker County Jane Doe.
Okay.
But I'm wondering if we should probably maybe cover that book in the future.
Oh,
It's
maybe.
another
Yeah.
it's another missing girl fiction.
Okay.
So,
well, yeah, so I've been saying,
if you
like,
haven't, I'd love to introduce you to that book.
I think I'll have to check my book database because I think I might own
Is
it.
it on there?
It
You
might.
own it. Okay.
Like,
So then maybe
so
we need to cover that one.
so Vanessa and I had this conversation the other day because I was saying, oh, I'm using an app to catalog all of my books. And then she was like, don't you just keep them on like an unread book, like a
Yes.
TBR bookshelf?
I have a TBR bookshelf designated only for TBR books.
And then I was like, well, okay, the problem might be that I have at this point hundreds of unread books.
Yeah.
So, yes,
I will not allow myself anything that doesn't fit on my shelf.
Yeah, no. So,
yeah, no.
So do I have that book? I don't know. I might have to check the database. Yeah, but I've been trying to like read more books that like as I'm calling it, deal with missingness. So
right, and that one definitely deals with missingness.
Yeah.
To a similar vibe as this
yeah.
God of
So
the
it can be
Woods.
like straight up like this book, maybe that book, actual missing persons. It can just also be like absenteeism and that kind of thing, like where like someone's just absent from a picture. But like, yeah, I feel like at some point, if a university ever wants to pay me to run some courses on some literature of missingness, I'm down for that. Yeah.
It's something
Talk
you need
about
to
Liz
pitch.
Moore's book.
Yeah.
Something I need to pitch.
Yeah.
Someone pay me money for the stuff that I like.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And this one would be a perfect one for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this one would be perfect for that just because there's so many layers to it and there's so much that pertains to like outside cases that kind of like meld into what could be possibly like inspiration.
Yeah, I feel like this discussion, like we've gone through some different avenues, but like
we definitely have.
We've like only scratched the surface of this book because I think there's just so many discussion pieces and moments in this book that are compelling and fascinating.
Right. Like we barely even touched on like what happens to them. But at the same time, I don't want to give too many spoilers in case somebody's listening to this.
Which they shouldn't do.
Before they read it.
Just read the book and then...
Yeah.
But hopefully we have inspired other people to like either revisit this or to start it. Like I know that it's everywhere, but like there's a reason.
It's everywhere. And it's got a really beautiful cover.
That cover is so gorgeous.
It's really, really pretty. The way it's written is beautiful. Yeah. And the ending is really like I said, it's going to stick with me.
You know what we should do?
What?
So Vanessa and I are in 2 other book clubs.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? We might add more.
Yeah.
We're in 2 other book clubs.
Maybe unofficially a third because we don't read books in that one anymore.
Oh, yeah. We don't read books in that one anymore. We should.
We should.
We should revive that one.
Yes.
But maybe we should suggest this for one of our other book clubs because I think it would open up some good discussion.
We should?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we should definitely suggest this to one of our other ones, but I guess in the meantime, we will wrap this one up for today. Thank you so much to all of our Patreon supporters for being here and for being part of our book club, and I hope you enjoy our selections.
Yes, and our August selection is Liliana's Invincible Summer.
Another beautiful cover.
Yes. And our September selection is Madame Victoria.
Madame Victoria. And I'm really excited about that one because that takes place in I am a New York, Quebec girl, and that one takes place in Montreal. So I am very much looking forward to that book.
Yes, and that one's an experimental novel. Can't wait to discuss both of those. For more information about our show or to check out other shows on the network, please visit evergreenpodcasts.com. Bye, Vanessa.
Bye, Amy.